Hey guys, I'll give a few minutes, let some people hop on, and then I'll get started. This shouldn't take too awful long. I'm not much of a talker, so if I can't get through this in under 30 minutes, I'll be disappointed.
We're giving people a second.
Yeah, I'll give just a couple minutes, and then we'll get started.
Okay, so this will be uploaded on YouTube to our team YouTube channel. So if you're watching this from YouTube, or if you're new to our team and you don't know who we are, my name is Casey Ballack. I'm the director of Cosmic Sense team, soon to be Cosmic Sense groups, because we have a lot of people who are going to be branching off as directors this fall. And this is my hubby, Ryan.
Hey, I'm the hubby.
Most of you guys who are on our team do know him, but I know some people watch our videos from YouTube and may not know who we are. So, hi. So tonight, he's going to be talking all about Scentsy spouse stuff. So, like I've told a lot of girls who are on our, a lot of women who are consultants on our team, that if you can get your spouse's involvement, it is huge for your business, because anything that is an at-home run business should be a family business. And if you are running a Scentsy business, chances are you are either also working full-time, working part-time, or a stay-at-home parent. And all three of those things are very difficult to do and run a business, especially at the level that I do, successfully. It can be very overwhelming if you don't have any help, but you don't want to throw in the towel because you've worked really hard to get where you are. So when I get to moments where I feel like I can't do this anymore, like I'm overwhelmed today, that's a lot of times when he will step up and say, all right, we got to come up with a better plan. What is something else that you can turn over to me? What's something you don't mind giving up that I can do for you? So we modify and adjust constantly to find what works for us.
There's no perfect system.
Yeah, we get in a routine, and then things will get busier, either on the coaching end of things with our team or on the sales end of things, and we will have to regroup and figure out what works for us. But it is definitely super important to have your spouse on board. And if your spouse is not on board, don't be discouraged. This fall, they're going to see you rock your business. And if you are one of mine that is on track to hit some superstar and director promotions by this fall, which a lot of you are, your spouse will definitely be on board when they see a director paycheck. Trust me, just saying. So insert income disclosure on YouTube here. But I promise, like, once they see that your work is actually resulting in things that are going to just bless your family, they will be on board, because it's a team partnership at that point. It is for your family, so it is a family business. So I'll turn it over to you so I don't keep just talking.
Stealing a little bit of my thunder there.
Sorry.
All right, so as she said,
I'm used to talking.
yeah, I know. As she said, I am Ryan, Casey's better half. Not really. She's way better than me. But I do not do Scentsy full time, obviously, and I was not really even much part of Casey's business until basically she hit director, which is I'm a little sad about. But I didn't really know what to do, what to expect, or that I should even be helping, honestly. She's just kind of a go-getter and took things upon herself and shot for the stars. And once I saw what she was doing, how hard she was working, I decided that, I probably need to step up and help out a little bit, take some of the load off her shoulders. So a little bit about me. I am from Easley. Me and Casey met at Clemson. I currently work full-time in the operating room at Baptist Easley Hospital as a nurse. And then I come home and do whatever I can to help Casey, especially during quarantine when she's been trapped in the house with two small, wonderful children.
I'm losing it, y'all. I'm so losing it.
Children are wonderful.
I just want to disappear for a couple hours. Like, I want to go to Target and walk around by myself. Yeah. With no purpose.
18 hours a day with two small kids can tire out anyone, especially when you're doing all the other things that she has to do. So let's just jump into it. We'll go over a few things that I do to kind of help Casey, and then at the end, I'll open it up if there's any questions for things that maybe I didn't touch on. So One of the most basic things that I think you can probably do to help your spouse out with her business is helping to pack orders. When the boxes come in, open them up, get it all spread out, sorted out for her, and sticker and label everything. So I brought a few examples. Anything that's not wrapped in plastic, like bathroom cleaner, counter clean, Scentsy Fresh, things like that come wrapped up. The washer whiffs, I don't put stickers on those because that wrapper's coming off and they're throwing it away. But like car bars, people hang on to these, they'll gift them, so let's put a sticker on that for the scent packs. I throw stickers on. Car bar clips, these are just different spots I put stickers on. And then all the bars, my bars right here.
That's my personal one.
Yeah.
No.
Scentsy Pod, I throw a sticker on the inside. It's kind of awkward here on the front. You kind of cover up the scent. So I go on the inside with those because they have to open it to get it, and then there's the sticker. The bars I do two different ways. If it's just a regular Scentsy bar, I'll throw it on the front. I don't care if that butterfly gets covered up. But if they have a nice pretty picture on the front, I don't really want to cover that up with a sticker, so boom, I'll throw it on the inside. So you don't cover up that Disney marketing there. So sticker and label everything. And then have a system as far as to how you keep up with orders when the order comes in, what belongs to who. So Scentsy has their website, but sometimes with the Hostess rewards and stuff, that gets a little tricky. So we use an app called Trello. I'll leave all this stuff in the comments to make it a little easier. So Trello is basically like a board system. So we have like boards for each month, and then we have one board is requested, and then there's a board for when they've been invoiced, board for when they paid, when we place the order, when it come in, when it's ready, and when it's been picked up.
You just drag and drop.
You type the little card on the board and then just drag it over. It's pretty easy and convenient to keep up with it. And then another system that I've just recently started to use at Casey's request is the Amy app, which is a way for her to keep up with what samples I have put in the bags. And
Amy is one of our system options. I know that if you've watched our training videos for new consultants, I talk about the different systems you can do. So you may not use Amy, but if you use a paper copy system, then you can absolutely show your spouse what paper copy you're using to write down samples on and have them do that. That is something that does not take your brain power to do. So that's the hard part, and I think that's why you weren't as involved in the beginning, because I have a hard time handing things over.
Yeah.
I'm very much a control freak with things that I'm working on. I'm always the leader of school projects. I don't want people to mess things up. That's just my personality. So for me, it was hard for me to give things up. But I do the customer talking, I do the checking in with customers on a personal level, following up with them about their products. I do a lot of the posting on social media. I do a lot of making the graphics because that's kind of my area. And I do the coaching calls and working with our team. So those are things that I can't really give over to him just because I've established a relationship with those people. So it would be kind of random for him to jump in and talk to the customers on my behalf. So logging samples is something that I don't have to do that. I have to give up a little bit of the control freakness. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, definitely look at your system and see what parts of that you could turn over, because him using Amy is something that is my system, but he's able to run it.
Yeah, and that's my next point is if Trello and Amy or some of the things that we personally do don't work for you, that's okay. Like we said, there's no perfect system. Just find something that you both can see and communicate with that works for you, and if it simplifies things and makes it to where the spouse can do things, then we're all for it. That's what we're looking for, is a way to expedite and streamline the process. So after you figure out who belongs to who and you're packing and you're ready for the customer to pick it up, I normally tag the people whose bags are ready. I'm pretty familiar with the people on the VIP list, so I'll tag them, let them know it's ready for pickup. And if it's somebody that we deliver to, sometimes then I'll take it to their house, or we have a lot of my coworkers that order, I'll take it to work. anybody kind of close by that we don't mind dropping off for, we'll do it. And then the next thing that we do, or that I do, excuse me, is the scent of the month. So scent of the month is something that the consultant subscribes to, and each month there's a warmer and a scent of the month, and they can get both or just the scent.
They typically arrive around between the 20th and 23rd is usually when we get ours, and that's if you're already subscribed.
So when they come in, if she gets the warmer, it's going to come with the warmer. It's going to come with these flyers. It's going to come with 9 bars.
It changes next month. Next month, read my announcement and on your news tab. It's changing next month. I believe it's 6 bars it's coming with and a brick. Or it might be 4 bars and a brick, but we're getting a brick of the scent of the month. That'll be great for making samples and personal use on your stories.
It comes with wax. It comes with a room spray, a tester, and some scented stickers. So all that being said, we use these felt samples that you can purchase through the consultant store, and they come in like a pack of 100. And so what I do is I put basically a whole bar. I break it up into individual cubes, drop it in a glass dish on simmer on the stove, and just let it slowly melt. And then I'll drop these little felt samples in one by one, let them soak up the wax. And we have like a cheap pair of plastic tweezers, and I pluck them out and lay them on some aluminum foil or parchment paper to the side and let them dry. And after they're all dry, we put them in these little baggies.
Jewelry bags on Amazon. They come
bags.
200 to a pack.
Super cheap. Drop them in there, throw the scented sticker on the bag as a label, and then staple, boom, right onto the flyer. And then we do a scent of the month mail out every month. So that's ready for her to do if that's what she's doing. If you're not doing mail outs yet, you can still drop these in customer bags, drop the felt samples in customer bags as samples. So it's still useful even if you're not doing mail outs yet.
And the reason we use those scented stickers for that purpose, because I used to put them on the brochure and then I would make labels for the bags. That was an extra step I didn't need to do. They don't need a scratch and sniff sticker on their brochure if they've got the sample in front of them to smell. So we use them as labels because when that box comes in, like he's like immediately making it, because we like to get those mail outs to our customers before that scent launches. That way we've kind of created a hype about it on our VIP page, and we have customers who are already wanting to order it.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel special because they're getting an exclusive look at something nobody else has yet.
And we get way more samples and flyers than we're going to mail out, so it's good to have those already labeled with the sticker, so even later into the month you can still drop those in, since those scents are guaranteed for the whole month. All right, my next point here is business supply. So learn what your wife uses for her business. Learn the bags,
Or
learn the
fiancé or
supplies.
girlfriend.
Fiance, yeah. I'm saying
Significant
wife
other.
because obviously I'm married. Yeah, so learn what they use. Learn the size bags, learn the different. So she orders some plastic bags from the website, but we'll let her know when those are
I
getting
get some
low.
Scentsy bags, but we get like brown bags from Amazon.
little
But you can just make
party
a
bags.
list, like type up a list, what size Avery labels you use, what size business labels, what type of envelopes. That way you can let your significant other know these are the supplies I use, so they can go behind you and check to see if anything's running low.
Right. So since I'm doing most of the packing, I kind of keep up with when we're getting low. And if it's something we get from Amazon, I'll just order it. If it's something that she orders through the Scentsy store, I don't really know any of that, but I
You just
haven't
tell
dived
me.
into that. I just tell her and she orders it with our next order. And then if she's making labels, have access to those PDFs. So as I talked about, when we're packing orders, I'm throwing labels on things. I can see when we're getting low. If I have access to that PDF, I'll print off a new stack of those business labels or address labels, whatever we're using.
And an easy way to do that would be to give your spouse your login to Avery.com. If you use Avery to create your labels, make sure you title things when you save them. So you can put business labels or fall sample labels or catalog labels, whatever that is, so that when you're running low on it, you can tell your spouse, hey, I need my catalog labels. Could you print those for me? He can log in through
They'll
your
save
account.
on Avery.
It'll be on your projects tab and print it straight from there.
And then as far as printing, we have an HP printer. We use we use instant ink. So when we first got this printer, I hated instant ink. I didn't understand what it was. It was charging us. It was saying we were printing too much and this and that. What was wrong is we just weren't using the right thing, and we were going through the ink faster than we should have been. But once we figured out how to use instant ink, and it's pretty easy if you're not an idiot like me when I first started to use it. It's simple, because you print when your ink gets a little bit low, it'll order you a new ink, and it arrives, and it's like here 2 weeks before you even need it. So you're not having to run to the store late at night when you need to print something. And then I think it's like $10 a month for us, but that's for like up to 300 or 500 sheets. I don't remember. I'll post a link to the HP Instant Ink thing and let you look over all the details. And then my next point is have a whiteboard. So if you can see behind us right here, there's a whiteboard right as you walk into our master bathroom, where we both walk in and out 100 times a day. So this is very visible to us, and that's my main point. Have it somewhere very visible that you're both going to see multiple times a day, and write things on it that are important that you need her to do or she needs you to do involving with the business. You have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I use it for myself too. If it's something that I can do and I'm sitting up here working that day, I'll write it down.
I am absolutely terrible about forgetting things. So if she wants me to do something, she knows she has to write it down, and I have to see it, or I will not remember, because I have 100 other things going on in my mind.
He looks and nods but isn't listening.
Exactly. I have a bad selective hearing, I guess. I don't know. All right, and then so I pretty much handle all invoicing. So when we get an order, or when Casey gets an order, 99% of the time, she sends it to me, tells me to add it to Trello onto our board.
And I just either screenshot it or I send him a text.
Yeah. So I add it to Trello, and after I add it to Trello, I'll invoice it, and then I'll move it over on Trello to invoiced. So we personally use Square. Is it a monthly charge?
It's a fee per payment.
I knew it was a fee per payment. I wasn't sure if it was a monthly charge.
So what I usually tell our newer consultants, and these are in our training videos for new consultants, is that you have to find what works for you for payment systems. Personally, I don't like holding on to anybody's card information. So on order forms, even for bag parties, I don't really want people's card information. That's not something I want to be responsible for. I used Facebook Messenger Pay when I first started out as a consultant, and I would use PayPal if somebody requested that, and I would use Venmo if somebody requested that. But Facebook Pay was easy for me because it was right there, already there where I was messaging them. But the only thing with that is that you can't delegate it to anybody else. He could not help me without logging onto my Facebook and going into my messages and trying to find where that was and trying to see if they'd paid their invoice. And that's too much. Like, it's too much for somebody other than me to try to navigate. It was hard for me to navigate. We were getting really bad about...
We didn't know who had paid and
we
who
were
hadn't
placing
paid
orders and realizing that this person never paid me, but I didn't have an easy way of checking to see if they had paid other than going to Messenger, finding that person, scrolling, and looking to where I sent it to them and seeing if it was paid. So that was a pain in the butt. So to me, Square is more than worth the...
yeah, for multiple reasons. You both have access to Square. After I invoice, after they paid, she gets an email letting her know that all that has happened.
And that fee's a tax write-off too.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's my next point. Everything is together in one spot for taxes. And as I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they take a percentage from you, which we talked about, but that percentage is a tax write-off for being a cost of business.
Anything you pay for your business is going to be a tax write-off. So if you cover a customer's shipping because they bought more than $50 worth of product and you covered their shipping for them, that you just paid towards their shipping, that's a tax write-off. Anything you do for your business, tax write-off. Write it down somewhere.
So that's all I have for Square. Again, at the end, if there's something that you're wondering that I forgot to cover, we'll do a couple questions. The next thing that I kind of handle is our shipping. So if we are sending a thank you package to a customer for a big order, or we're sending out some happy mail for a promotion or a top sales or something like that, I handle, she kind of does the things that she wants to send, and after she has everything together, I kind of package it, weigh it, and get the shipping label on it. And we use Pirate Ship. And Leanne actually just did a live a few nights ago on Pirate Ship, which if you didn't see that, go back and watch it. She did a great job. So Casey will get everything together that she needs, and I'll get either a box, or I try to use the bubble envelope if possible because that's cheaper. And I'll package away and print the labels. And we bought these labels off of Amazon. It looks like a regular sheet of paper, but it's actually kind of split down the middle with two little label stickers. And I'll put a link to these. We bought these on Amazon for pretty cheap. So it'll print here, and it's kind of small, so if it won't fit on the envelope I'm using, I'll kind of narrow it down a little bit and then throw it on the envelope. But that makes it super easy. And there's kind of a debate between Pirate Ship and Stamps. We actually started with Stamps, but Stamps.com is like $17 a month, and we weren't shipping enough.
If you're shipping a lot, like I know Chloe and Justin use Stamps.com, but they're shipping team mail like nobody's business. I mean, she's got like 9,000 people on her team. Like, they're using it a lot, so I'm sure it's more than worth it for them. But for us, it did not seem like a fair payoff.
Right. The one thing that Stamps.com has that Pirate Ship doesn't is actual like stamps for letters. But the $17 a month was not worth the trip for me to go up to the post office and use their convenient kiosk and buy some bulk stamps. I don't even have to go in to buy the stamps with the kiosk right there. It just prints them off and you're in and out in 5 minutes and done. Don't have to talk with anybody in the COVID times right now. That's it on Pirate Ship. Yeah, go back and watch Leanne's live. She talked very in detail about Pirate Ship, so I'm not going to get too much into detail because she did a great job. I just wanted to talk about that I handle the shipping. And then, so this next point is reporting. So this would be something that you want to start thinking about doing late star as you're approaching superstar consultant. I would think you agree with that. She's got, okay.
Once
as
you
far
have
as me.
over 10 frontline,
Yeah.
I would say over 10 frontline was when you need to start paying a lot more attention to reports, and it's going to get a little harder to keep an eye on that. So that's where he's about to talk about.
Right. So Justin Cox, Chloe Cox's husband, he has a great training on how to build these reports, and I'll find that video and I'll link it because he does a great job. There's
It's
no
also
need.
in Coach the Coach.
It's in Coach the Coach as well. So there's no need for me to go super into detail because he's going to do a much better job for me. But I watched his video, I followed his template, and kind of built these reports that Casey can just click on in the reporting tab, and it'll pull up, for instance, like potential star consultant. I have it set on these different
Like
parameters.
you run those mid-month.
Yeah, I have these different parameters that kind of let us know people that are trajecting the right way to promote. So she can click on that, and then she can message them and talk with them. So it's just a way to expedite her reporting process. But I'll link Justin's training on that, and that's something that you're going to want to think about doing as she's getting higher up and is being responsible for keeping up with more people to kind of make her life easy. And then probably my most important part of this is just be her hype man. She started this, but this is y'all's business now. I sell too. I don't sell near as much as she does, but you know, I'm talking about this constantly at work. I'm pitching to people every now and then. Like I had a coworker mention to me months ago that she really loves Disney stuff, and I had kept mentioning things, and she wasn't really interested. But the villains thing that we just got word of, I had a strong feeling she would like that one. I mentioned it to her, and she's getting one for herself and one for her sister. So that's a sale that Casey never would have made because she doesn't know this lady. I just work with her. But
So
now she's
basically,
going to be a
like,
repeat customer, I'm sure.
The foundation of that point would be to just know what's going on in her business. Grab a catalog and look through it. See what your spouse is selling. Be up to date on what's going on. So if you're on her VIP page, pay attention to what she's posting. If you're on her team page, pay attention to news articles she's sharing so you know what's up. Because if you have a friend that mentions something about their wife being obsessed with Jack Skellington, you can be like, oh, well,
Hey,
my
man, I
wife
got a
sells
good present
Scentsy
for
and
her.
they've got a Jack warmer coming out. Like, your friend's going to be thankful that you've hooked them up with a cool gift. and you're helping your wife out too, because you're expanding the network without her having to step into your circle, if that makes sense.
So, I take catalogs to my work. They got Casey's label on them. I'll just leave them in the break room, and then I'll just have people walk up to me and, but hey, I need to buy something. I'm not really even doing anything. The catalog's just sitting there. They look through it and see something they like and come up to me, and I'm like, sure, I'll put that down. I'll let Casey know, and we'll get it for you. So Casey does most of the legwork, 95% of it at least. But the few people that I do come into contact with that she doesn't necessarily contact with, I'll follow up with them, let them know, see what they like, what they didn't like, things of that nature. A very, very important thing that I think I've started to do probably within the past few months is being present on the pages. Cheer on her teammates. Post funny gifs. That's what I'm known for pretty much now. Is anytime there's a promotion or a new teamie, I'm putting some stupid gif on there just to be silly. I don't know. That's my personality. But it's kind of built this culture to where all of our teamies are hyping each other up now. It's kind of built this thing to where anytime anybody does anything, there's 100 comments on there hyping everybody up.
And I feel like a lot more spouses are being involved because of that too. I think there's this like weird, that's on your notes.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. So there's this stigma among guys, I guess, that these ladies that are doing direct sales are just falling into this pyramid scheme. That's a trap. That's just making money for the people on top, and that is not what Scentsy is at all. You're gonna get out of Scentsy what you put into Scentsy, 100%, and I've seen that. So Casey's put her head down, and she's promoted, and she's aiming for the top, and she's not gonna stop till she gets there. And Casey was a lead last August.
I was a lead, but I was not a paid title lead.
Okay.
I had one frontline consultant, but this was not a consistently active frontline consultant. So I was not, and they kind of fell into my lap. I didn't actively recruit them. So I was an accidental lead consultant last August.
So that's 1 year ago. I was not taking her Scentsy business seriously 1 year ago. 2 months later, she was a director, which is
and in the top 150
2
to
steps
earn
from
a
the
free
top.
trip.
So that's putting your nose down and getting to work and not stopping till you get there. And once I saw the difference between that lead paycheck and the director paycheck, it was like, okay, so this is for real. Well, what can I do to help you? Because this just became a third income.
Yes, because I literally, I just took a new position with our school district, but as a special educator, my salary matched my Scentsy pay.
Yeah. Her monthly salary for being a teacher matched the monthly salary for being Scentsy. Now, the Scentsy doesn't have
income disclosure.
Yeah, the Scentsy doesn't have the taxes taken out, but a lot of the taxes that would be taken out, you get to write off at the end of the year through your expenses. So it all evens out pretty much.
We didn't owe anything on taxes this year.
No, we didn't.
If you take care of your keeping up with what's tax write-offs, you should be fine, unless you're just like not being smart about what you're investing into your business.
Yeah. So, my main point is, Normalize talking about this. This isn't some flash in the pan thing that she's doing that's going to fizzle out in a year. If she's serious about this and she's putting her nose down and she wants to do it, and I mean, you can tell when that's the case. Jump on. Let's do this thing together, because if you start normalizing this, then that's going to influence the people that you've helped join this business. It's going to influence their spouses, and then the more we normalize this, I mean, 2's better than 1. There's no doubt about that. The amount of work that we can do together is, she could do it by herself, but she'd be miserable and she'd burn out and she'd quit.
I would be up till 10 or 11.
She would quit. She wouldn't keep doing it. So as you promote, and it's not to scare you, but you do have more responsibilities, as you should. You're getting higher up. You're responsible for more people. So the more things you can delegate and even out and lower her stress load, the happier everybody is going to be. I think that's all I have. Is there anything?
I just have one point I wanted to make before we close out. I haven't seen any questions. I think we're good. But y'all, if you're watching the replay, comment replay and leave us questions if you have any questions. Tag your spouses in this. We're gonna post the YouTube link. If you're watching this from YouTube, send the link to your spouse. Give them, I sent him the training that Justin created because he asked me one day. He was like, send me that training he made so I can figure out how to help you. So it's helpful. A lot of times, that's one big thing with men, and I'm not being insulting. They don't realize you need help unless you tell them. You can walk around the house huffing and puffing all you want to about being busy and just moving stuff around and being passive aggressive like I'll do.
Repeating her cornflakes.
They don't know. They don't know that you need help unless you specifically tell them, I need help and here's what I need help with. So if you're not comfortable yet fully jumping into some of this stuff with Scentsy, look around your house and see what you can help with. Because if your wife is doing Scentsy, like I said, she's probably either a stay-at-home mom or working full-time. Scentsy is not usually someone's full-time job until they hit star director or superstar director. So she's probably got another job or stay-at-home mom. And stay-at-home mom is a harder job than a career. I'm serious. I'm losing it, y'all. I can't do this. So if Scentsy stuff isn't something you're comfortable picking up a lot of things for, then you should definitely just figure out what else you could do. If she normally does all the dishes and then she's staying up till 10 o'clock packing orders, why not you do the dishes and then she can pack her orders and then you're finished at the same time and you can spend some quality time with your spouse. So we're very much a 50-50 household. It's how we've always been. I know that not all households are the same as that, but that's very much always been our culture in our home, is that there are no gender roles. There are no you do this, you do that, other than I don't do yard work.
I wouldn't let her do yard work.
He's picky about his yard, but even before he was picky about his yard, I don't do yard work. I don't do stuff outside. I don't like to be sweaty. So, so in our house, 50-50. So make sure that you are doing something to help her if she's running a business from home, because that's taking time from what she normally would be doing. And it's just super important. And just having that moral support means a lot. I've seen a lot of very successful Scentsy consultants, people who are directors or above, who are my spouse is checked out, they don't care. They think my business is a joke. And I'm like, okay, if you're a director or above, how do they think it's a joke? Because that paycheck doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. And if they're bringing in that much income, I wouldn't sit here and tell him his job as a nurse was a joke. Any career where you are going and you are working hard for your family and bringing home an income is not a joke. Unless you're a drug dealer. That's a different story. Whatever you gotta do, y'all.
Money and money, I guess. But Jennifer, to answer your question, any money we bring in is considered ours. We don't have a his and hers honey pot.
We've always had a shared account.
Yeah, so any money I bring in is hers. Any money she brings in is mine.
I probably spend a lot more money.
It's
than
about
he does.
80-20 probably spending wise, but fighting for my 20%.
You don't fight. You're not a.
I'm just not a spender.
Yeah, you don't ever need new stuff or anything, so, or want new stuff. You need it. Got socks with holes all in them, but.
Don't talk about Anyways, any questions before we hop off of here? Let y'all enjoy your Friday nights.
Plus, there's a delay, so you won't see your questions for a while.
All right. Well, if there's any questions, just leave them in the comments. We'll answer them, and I'll post the links to these different things. It may not be tonight. I may wait till tomorrow just because it's getting
probably
late. But
we'll have it up. This will be on our YouTube. This will also be just here on the team page.
Yep.
So if you're watching the replay, tag your teamies so that they have the opportunity to see this, so they can tag their spouses and add them to the team page. Please add them to the team page. Even if they're not all in with you right now, at least let them see what's going on. That way they're kind of in the loop and they can make that decision for themselves. But it is a family business, and I want y'all's families to be involved. I'm getting to know all of you. I'm getting to know your kids. I'm getting to know your pets. I feel like this is one big, amazing community, and I want your spouses in on this too. I want them to see your success, because Like, you guys are killing it. We have so many consultants right now that are like moving at rapid fire pace towards director promotions, and people who are just killing it. And I want your spouses to see that success, because that's not anything that's something to be proud of. Like, you worked hard for that. It takes hustle, it takes determination, it takes setting aside your free time and putting your heart into something. It doesn't come easy, because it's a home run business, which means it's optional. Like, when I get up and go to work, like, I have to, or they're gonna fire me if I'm not there.
You
But
just
like,
fire yourself.
when you work, this is your Scentsy business, you have to wake up every morning and make the decision to work it. So I want your spouses to be able to see your hard work you pour in and your successes and celebrate with us. So add in the team page, tag your friends, comment replay if you're watching the replay, and happy Friday.
See y'all.